Down.
Da-dum.
We were really good at just vibing off each other with this opening da-dums now, man. Like, I feel we're gonna be, we're so good. We're so good. That's it.
Yeah.
End of
No,
statement.
it feels like sometimes we just gotta let it keep going. I know, like, da-dum, there's kind of like after you get to the it's kind of like, well, there's no more, but I definitely am feeling there should be.
And we could do sound effects, we could edit that stuff in, but why would we do that when we obviously are both living Foley artists, right? Like, we're
Oh, yeah. And why would we do that when I am the person who had to edit all that in?
Exactly. So we'll just do it. This keeps it easy. It keeps the podcast fresh, organic. That's a term
Exactly.
that children use, that the kids use now. The cool kids, organic. It's organic.
Yeah.
All that
Only vegetables you should buy. Organic.
Yeah, organic sound effects made by Eric Vu and Jacob Jarecki. I've already dropped our names. I think I just have to go into the spiel. We are
Indeed.
the Grand Line Tourist podcast, a chapter by chapter examining or re-examining, depending on who you are and where you exist in this space of the world that we call Earth, of Ichiro Oda's masterpiece, One Piece. There's a lot of pieces, and I should have split that up. Anyways,
That's okay.
I'm Eric Vu. I'm the tour guide, metaphorical, actual, semi-maritime lawyer. I was a semester away. You guys know my origin story.
First of his name.
First of his name. That's me. I'm your tour guide. I'm here to walk you guys through it, but standing next to me, if you count, the internet miles. I mean, internet-wise, you are technically standing next to me via Discord.
Well, I'm also sitting.
Yes.
I think, you said you were the metaphorical tour guide. I am metaphorically across the internet, standing next to Eric in the chair that I am sitting in, and I am your titular tourist. I am Jacob Jarecki, and I am, just on this journey with my dear tour guide, leading me onwards and upwards through the numbers. And we got a pretty big number today. We're on chapter 28.
I am very proud of us that we are this far in and we haven't quit. Like, here it is, folks.
No,
We're
I'm
going.
impressed too.
Right? Yeah, we're 28 chapters. Are we going to do all 1,039 chapters that they're currently at? I don't know. Stick around. Find out. Or if you're in the future...
If what happened between chapter 1, 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4 suggest correctly, yes. The answer is yes.
Anyways, we are in chapter 28, Crescent Moon. We're in it. We're in it all. So I have the itinerary for today, and I will do my job actually this chapter and read the itinerary out for everybody to hear.
All right.
Usopp
Buckle up.
tries to say he's not scared, but he is really scared. He is so scared that his legs are shaking. He tells Luffy that he doesn't need pity help. They can stop judging him. He's scared because he's going up against these crew, Captain Koro pirates, and they're ruthless. He's scared. But Zoro says, "Yo, we're not doing this out of pity. We're impressed by you. That's what we're offering to help. We're here to help you, man. We see your noble cause. We're here to be noble with you and fight with you." Usopp takes him to a piece of the beach where he says that this is where they're going to attack. They're going to attack through this little area, this very 300-like ridge area that all the pirates are going to run through. This is where we're going to make our stand. This is where we're going to fight.
We got them.
Right?
Set up some traps.
Set up some traps. We'll fight them here. If we keep them here, then they'll never reach the village. But back at the ranch, back at the Kaya residence, we see Mary. We got a name we remember the name. Mary the Ram Butler is telling Klahadore about the events of the day, about what Usopp did and how despicable Usopp was. And tells him that, Usopp had this crazy lie that you were a pirate, secretly trying to steal from Miss Kaya. Oh, by the way, Miss Kaya got you this gift of these glasses that are specially made for you to wear, so they don't fall off your face because you're always pushing up your glasses. Yes.
How kind.
In response, Cloudor does his whole looking at the moon, and he's like, well, the Crescent Moon... Man, it really makes me randy for blood. I'm gonna kill things. So what's he do? He drops the glasses, he steps on it, and Mary's like, why are you doing this? And it's too late. Mary screams out in the moments before he gets slashed. He screams out, run! Miss Kyle, slash. Done. Slashed by what we think are knives. We don't know the capacity of what Cloudors does with the knives, but he does, and he says, 3 long years I've waited to do this, and tonight it's done. So Jacob, your tinted
No,
foil
my
hat,
theory.
Your theory that the glasses were gonna change. It does the opposite.
Strike it off the list.
What is a thoughtful gift in the shadow of a crescent moon? Apparently, that makes the murderous rage of an angry pirate pop out.
I didn't take into account the moon. I would have.
The moon.
So obvious.
Who would have thought the moon, right? Can't stop the moonlight, yo. We jump back to the plan that Usopp and them have figured out, which is let's slick up the ramp. There's one little thing, which is put a bunch of oil here. The pirates won't be able to come up because it's too slippery. And then while that happens, I'm just gonna like snipe them down with my. We'll attack them from a distance. I'll snipe them down with my slingshot.
Use those spidey senses.
Yeah, which is great, and they're all ready. We established that, and then we jump back to the actual pirates on the. I think I put that in misorder, but we do see the actual pirates, the Black Cat pirates, waking up Django, the current acting captain of the Black Cat pirates, and they're like, "Let's go! I know we're still in the middle of the night, but we can't wait. We have so much bloodlust, probably because of the Crescent Moon.
Dang nabbit, that moon!
The moon, the sea wolves, but the cats, man, they have a lot of different animals kind of applying to these pirates specifically. Django goes, let's go do it, let's start our attack. So they start moving. We jump back to Usopp and them explaining their plan, and then Nami goes, wait, I hear stuff coming from the north. And then Usopp goes, no, there is another way to the village.
Wrong beach.
The North Beach. And they're like, the North Beach? And Usopp is, he's like, shoot, we can get there if we run straight north. We get there in 3 minutes. And then a bunch of series of events happens. The first series, Nami trips on the trap, their own trap, pulls Zolo to kind of like anchor herself to pull her back up. And the speed, while doing that, she throws Zolo straight down the oil trap. So now he's stuck on the other side of the oil trap, all covered in oil.
It's so glad we got Nami, our greatest fighter, you know.
Yes, yeah, that's who we wanted. But Nami obviously is going to, because Nami also points out that they are actually anchored in the North Beach. Their stuff in her and their treasure. So she's gonna go save the treasure. Luffy takes off north, speeding north, listening to Usopp's one thing. Usopp's running north also. The pirates have landed. The pirates are coming up the ramp that are not the North Beach. You know what? Their pathway doesn't have oil. They can just openly walk up. And then the end of this chapter ends with the pirates, the Black Cat pirates, saying somebody's at the top of the ridge, and you would assume it'd be somebody great, but it's not. It's. I mean, Usopp is pretty great. Usopp is knocking.
Usopp's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's knocking some people on their butt. But sadly, it's just him by himself because Luffy. Apparently, Luffy's interpretation of North is wherever is the coldest, and that's what he ran.
He's got some logic there for not being a navigator. You know, he did apply a lot of logic to like, okay, I got to go somewhere where it's cold. Where's the cold? Up at the North Pole, I guess. And then he tried to go to where it seemed coldest, and he's gone. He's back at the village, basically.
Yeah, that was a mouthful of a breakdown of what happened in this chapter, but this is...
Yeah, no, it's interesting, because it's not, like, tons and tons of stuff, but there is, like, a lot of little details that go on. It, like, that little last bit at the end is kind of like, you can almost sum it up. Zolo's stuck on beach. Nami is on her way. Luffy went to the village, and Usopp is there alone,
doing the thing that he said he was going to do in the first place right now, right? Which is fight these things. He's going to fight these pirates by himself regardless. He's like ready for it, right? Which is super cool. This is a very cool, like, he's doing it. He said he's going to do it.
Reminded me. I keep making reference. It reminded me of Gandalf coming to like save the day with a bunch of people, but there's not the people. There's just Usopp as the creature, the on top of the hill, ready to defend. Yeah, it's pretty bold.
All right, so jumping into the first discussion point. This is what I'm calling end of Act 2. The parties come together. It's like literally the end of Act 2. At least I feel for the arc. Like.
Okay.
It's all done. So the reason why I'm saying this is just it's a fun little setup chapter, like that's what it is. But this is what is established so far in this one chapter that does have quite a bit going on, right? We have all the locations of the set pieces done, like it's there, right? We know where the fights are going to happen, where the actions are happening, right? We also know all the current wants of all the characters. Like now everything's out. We know what the bad guys want, we know what the good guy wants, right? And we even know all the people who are going to be affected by these wants and keeping them from these wants, right? And then also we have all the characters. Like all the characters are now in here. It felt really cool. It felt very much like the end of Act 1 in a musical, right? All like Les Mis end of Act 1 when everybody's just singing their one songs and it's done. Like, this is what it feels like. So,
and you got little old Zorro singing, "I'm stuck on the beach. I can't get up on the beach.
I can't get up on the beach." It's so cool. It feels very much. He's very good at this aspect of these arcs. You know, as the crew, as the characters kind of like expand, as he gets deeper into the story, we get these kind of moments of like, oh, this is where we get these chapters of all the setup that's gonna lead, and now we're gonna see all these places fight and play out eventually for the rest of the arc.
Yeah, it's kind of, this is actually the most maybe harder, like, you could kind of have some mild predictions about how some of the things were going to go. Like, even, like, is Claw Hador going to turn or is he not going to turn, right? It felt like we had a sense of the options. Now that we're kind of in the everybody go, the options seem very limitless, right? Like, it's kind of like, oh, I don't know. Is Usopp going to do anything to the pirates coming over the hill? Like, literally, he just might turn and run all of a sudden, you know? I really don't know. What the heck is Luffy going to do with the village? Or is he just going to, now do we just have him running back to go help? Like, it's going to be, is he going to meet up with the little pirate kids and do something? It's just like a very exciting setup at this point, because it's, I think, hardest to predict what's going to happen from this point forward.
It's fun, man. I even felt like, even though I've seen this arc, I still felt, I didn't remember who showed up at the end. One of the pirates were like, there's someone standing at the top of the ridge, right? And then when they showed Usopp, I was like, obviously it's him. Like, that's the best way for the story to go. But also, at one point, I thought, like, oh, Luffy's gonna get there. We should have known better. The moment he said, just go north, we should have known better. Luffy doesn't know directions. Like, Luffy and Zoro both don't know directions, right? So they're not gonna get to the place where we think they're gonna get to. That's why they need a navigator.
No, and it was even funny, even just for the little moments of, like, Nami is, like, slipping down the hill. I was like, oh, okay, we're losing Nami. And it's like, oh, no, she grabs Zoro, and Zoro's down the hill now. And you're just like, okay. It could have been either one. You know, it's like, I feel like Aichiro Oda could have just done a coin flip right there and picked his character. But, you know, I'm sure he has reasons for why he wants Nami. And I actually think Zoro might be off the board for quite a bit of this fight. I'm not sure, but
now that he's trapped in his own trap that Nami foreshadowed earlier.
Or we're gonna have some like epic. He's gonna like use his teeth to like claw up the oil or something. I don't know.
I don't remember how he gets out of this, and like
no, and that's why it's so exciting. I like, as I said, we got all these possibilities ready to tip off just because of, like you said, all that setup coming to fruition.
End of Act 2, man. Now we know what's happening. The exciting moments already happened. We know everything. The conflict is there. Let's see the resolution in Act 3, which is the rest of the chapters probably in this arc, I believe. How big is this arc? I need to see how big this arc is. This goes all the way to...
tour guide. I don't want to go on a 18-week arc trip. I was told that this is just going to be a few more.
Oh, man. Dude, like I've said multiple times, you're in the long haul already. You're giving me years of your life, not months. Cool. The other thing I kind of want to chat about was the... I think it's kind of cool that Zoro and Luffy both emphasize the fact that we think like we're helping you because we agree with you morally about what you're trying to do here, right?
Yeah.
Because Luffy knows he's not lying, right? He knows that he's not lying because Luffy was there, even though Luffy passed out, and he's still very confused about how that happened. He knows that he's not lying, and he agrees with it. I also love the one line that I think made me want to bring up this point was Luffy saying that, why would I ever put my life on the line for pity? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. That sounds dumb.
Yeah. No, it's again speaking to Luffy being such a character with such convictions is the way I would put it, you know? And it's very cool to see him confronted with situations where he gets to speak those convictions bluntly in a way that, you know, like we've talked about, it kind of is admirable, and kind of exciting to know that being a manga that's targeted at the younger child audience, at least initially, it's cool to see that just have that conviction about these cool morals showing up for younger folk. Pretty awesome. Yeah,
and I just have to say, I think, again, I wasn't a super fan of Usopp. Like, I'm kind of about him, but like the pace of our podcast and what we're doing, like, man, I think is so cool in the beginning of this chapter to have him just like he is so scared, but he's still gonna do this thing, and I think that's such a cool
Knees
thing.
a buckling.
Yeah, and like I love the imagery of him hitting his legs to get them to stop, right? And
That is really interesting because it's like usually what you would do when you have like you'd have a classic Zorro like character injured, right? And he like
yeah.
what is he? He cuts his wounds more to make himself feel. But this is Usopp like stop shaking knees. I need to I need to protect my town.
It's that whole thing about how like even though you're scared, you can still be brave, right? If you know what you're fighting for, and Usopp is like, I love this village. I'm gonna fight for it, right? I love this village. I love Kaya. I love my relationship with Kaya. Like that type of stuff. Like he's gonna keep fighting for it even though he's scared, And it's so cool for him to be surrounded by people like we see that you are scared and we're gonna fight with you, right? And we're gonna do this together, which is super cool and just kind of a cool thing to kind of define, even just like from the point of view of like masculinity and like being brave. Right, like you don't have to always be a Luffy or Zoro. You could be like he's a little bit more on the what
You
is
could be
his...
a run and hide slingshotter,
Yeah,
You can,
what is his name? He's more on the Kobe side of things.
It's true. Yeah, he's got. Yeah, no, actually, quite similar in a way. When the going gets tough, Kobe will throw a punch, but like you gotta, that's pushed to the intensity of an emotion. Similar to like, and Kobe's not, trained to be able to do that.
And he's gonna be scared.
As far as we know, Kobe is now some military brutal dictator. He's been corrupted by the system. Oh, poor Kobe.
Yeah, so those were kind of just the points I wanted to talk about in this chapter that I kind of saw that was really cool. I mean, I love the whole Act 2 thing of it. And I just really love that moment at the beginning that we saw. I don't know if you noticed that the art style shifted to that like high. We could just call it the HD art style a bit, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
we went HD on this this chapter. It's so. I'm starting to like it a bit more. I think, or maybe they did it slightly different this time. I dug the HD this time, or maybe it didn't last as long. It might have gone.
No, it was only
non-HD
like 2 pages.
after. I was okay. I was only 2 pages.
Yeah, it wasn't too long at all. Yeah, it was like maybe 2 pages, but it was cool. They had like a cold open that led to the.
That led to the big spread, the big chapter.
Yeah, wasn't this a cool little title picture thing? Do you think that's so it's them kind of like in the back of this fruit vegetable wagon. Some of the fruits are alive, some of the vegetables are alive.
Some of them are organic, some are not.
Yeah, right. And do you think that's Shanks sitting on the...
It looks like Shanks. There's no one else that could be. I mean, if it's supposed to be somebody we know, on the back of this character's shirt, it says Marvelous Noon, right?
Oh.
I just reading
Romance
it.
Dawn? Do you think that's the play on Romance Dawn being Marvelous Noon?
Oh my goodness. I had nothing. I had nothing going into saying that. But that seems solid. And that's a reference to where Shanks first appeared. So
you know what? That can't be Shanks. He has 2 hands. I'm kidding. It probably is him. I mean, we're looking. This is like a vegetable alternate reality version of One Piece, probably.
Yeah, and when he's got the hat, right, which is not on Luffy's head, so it's like, yeah, maybe it's a completely strange alternate reality where Shanks has to,
and this
take care of the teenage. And I didn't even notice the panda bull. It's got horns.
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
Like it could. I mean, it could just be a regular bull that looks like a cow, but I think it's kind of going for a panda bull looking thing, right?
I kind of wish Oda had a chance just to make an animal-based manga,
He's gonna have plenty of chances to make weird animals.
No. I feel like, I feel like the humans might just be getting in the way, We all know he can draw humans, but we definitely also know he's got a love for drawing animals like this. And so I'm like, I mean, just imagine if we had the manga about these vegetables here. I think it would be pretty awesome.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's everything I kind of wanted to cover in this chapter. Did you have anything else you wanted to chat about?
Yeah, no, I got a few fun little things I want to share. So if you look at the some of the images I sent you, don't open the panel battle, of course, but open Chapter 28, Moon Hanafuda cards is what I called it.
Okay.
And once you open that up, you'll see there's these Japanese playing cards called Hanafuda cards, and I have played a solitaire-like game with them before, and this darn moon, it's got me thinking, it just reminds me of the moon that's in these Hanafuda cards. And it makes me also think of this art style a little bit, some of the panels in this chapter. So I'll put that in our show notes today just as a fun thing for readers just to see where my mind went when I noticed, it's not in the Hanafuda cards, there's a full moon card, not a crescent moon, but even still, like the hill with the moon, it's just a very, very Japanese in a sort of wood panel-y sort of art style.
You know what's so crazy that, like, I agree with you about this art style and everything, but Jacob, I'm kind of realized that I might have missed an opportunity here. Have you tried to track the moon in this chapter?
Oh, track it.
Yeah.
Like how high is it in the sky?
Yeah, and like where it shows up and like why it shows up, because the whole chapter is called Crescent Moon.
Yeah, I did not track it personally, and I'm just kind of doing a quick flip through, and it's almost like a character. It feels like I actually think
it's like the through line.
Maybe it's sort of like helping establish time a little bit. Like a lot of actions are happening simultaneously with lots of characters, and so you can kind of see, the moon. It kind of helps cement that idea of like the setup for the act that you were talking about, right? Like, this is everyone's last chance to say a few things to get orientated before the moon sets and the sun rises, right? Yeah. And all of a sudden we're in action. And it does happen. And after you kind of lose the moon, it just kind of goes away at some point because everything's in motion. It's starting. But you're right. Before that, I think it's just kind of this interesting presence that kind of it suggests a sense of like uneasy calm before the storm. Yeah,
and it also establishes that all this stuff is happening simultaneously, right? Which is kind of cool, right? Like all of these events are happening all at once, which is a very end of Act 2 sort of deal and fun stuff. So
yeah, and if not exactly at the same time, you kind of get this feeling of like, it's not like the moon. It's relatively in the same position in the sky. It doesn't look so easy to track. I don't think it's like so precise that it exactly matters where it was for this chapter, but it's still very cool connecting all these
story.
Yeah, sometimes you just get it in more classic fiction, just like a character looks up at the moon at the end of the chapter, and then you have another character looking at a moon later in a different part of the world, right? And it's good to connect your characters when they're a little more farther apart with something. In this case, it works really well in this chapter because it's visual too. You just see it.
Yeah. Cool beans.
So it's awesome that Oda guided us through that way.
Yeah.
And the chapter was titled to, so people that are, good at reading manga, me and you, of course, we were like, oh yeah, of course, we understand. This is going to be about how the moon connects everything. We got it. Easy peasy.
Yeah, we did just figure that out.
Just brought it up at the end there, just duh. We
did just figure it out now, midway through recording the 28th episode. I see that you have another thing in here. Are we going to talk about that thing too?
Oh, now you mentioned it, I wasn't totally sure. Open it up. You see it says real big boat, right?
Yeah.
That's a real big boat.
Is that always...
I was impressed. Like, I feel like we've had a lot of little boats, and we've probably had some big boats, but not big boats in motion. And I was excited to see, like, this just feels like a real pirate boat, with, of course, a little Odaism maybe, the funny, like, masthead, which is just the cat.
Ugly cat. Oh my god.
I like it though. I like it.
I know. And then did you see that like its claws are kind of on the edges of the front of the boat too?
Now I do. Very
yeah,
cool.
Isn't that kind of like it's so Oda. It's like little moments where he gets to sneak in personality into things that nobody else would have thought of. Like why do you need to add personality to this boat? Well, they're the Black Cat Pirates, so why not?
Yeah, because the reason you do it is because secretly he wants to write a manga that's purely animal-based. And he's like, people like humans, so I'll do that.
If he wanted to do it, he would have done it by now. But he's been doing this manga for 20-plus years.
No, it's true. No, it's very clear that he loves pirates. So I feel like, I think it was his second love. His second love was animals. And so he throws it a ton into his first love, which is pirates. But it would have been interesting. What if that was reversed? What if it was an animal manga and then there was some pirate occasional references in it? It would have been a whole different deal.
It would have been. Cool. Anything else on your end?
No, that's pretty much all the cool stuff there. That was just I had to call out the boat. I just was so excited relative to these. I want soon it'll be time I think for the Straw Hat Pirates to get a bigger boat. It's gonna high tide. It's coming, but they're not there yet. They're working with two boats and they're like splitting their crew.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's fine. But I was excited to see big boat.
Because stay with me for this metaphor. Their big adventure is the shark that's eating people in Jaws, and they're gonna need a bigger boat. That's it. That's all. That's the whole.
All right.
The whole metaphor reference. Let's go to Oda, who does much better jokes than I do. All right, OP got some jokes. I think you've.
I got one.
Oh, you go
call
first.
It out. I cut I stretch. I steal. I thought it was a beautiful way to sum up to another character what our characters do, and it just sounds funny, you know?
Yes. Also, he's not like surprised by the eye stretch or anything, but I think that the best part is that the payoff is, well, I run and hide.
You're like, no, we can't, we don't need that. What? Yeah, no, that's a great payoff. Yeah, I caught I stretch or steal. Usopp comes in with I run and hide, which great,
Yes.
great contribution. Usopp.
Because it's also him asking
he ends
them,
the chapter on top of that hill.
right.
Anyway, sorry, what'd you say?
It's him asking them like, so what do you? We gotta. I gotta know what we're working with. So what do you guys do? And it's Usopp asking that, only to lead to him going, "Why run and hide?" It's great. It's kind of like that bit that he has where he's like trying to still be a captain. Like he wants to be a captain, but he mentally might not be there.
Yeah, not quite there yet. So I shot you with that one. What do you got for me?
I have how silly would it be if we fall in our own trap, huh?
Oh yeah,
you know, like
classic foreshadow.
Yeah, Chekhov's slippery.
Chekhov's
trap.
oil.
Yeah, Chekhov's oil, right? Which is just really funny because it pays off in the best way, which is Nami pulling Zoro down and not Nami falling down herself, which I think is just so good.
Very solid. I wanted to call out. I want to actually ask about your understanding of a series of panels when our wonderful character who is named 1-2 Django in this chapter, when they're talking about like, is it morning yet? And he's like, I don't know, it's not quite early. You know, I think it's a little early. And then all of a sudden, 1-2 Django says, good morning. And like everyone says, let's go. Was that like the signal? It felt like it was the signal. Like they were like waiting specifically for Django to like acknowledge that it was morning, and then that's when they were going to start all their pillaging and plundering.
I think it was that, right? Like I think.
Well, because there's this interesting panel of like gasp after he says good morning, like they were waiting for it.
Yeah, I think the way I read it was like he mentions a few chapters ago how they're like ready to just kill and pillage and stuff like that. So the way I saw this is kind of like a kid excited for Christmas morning sort of situation, you know, where like the pirates are waking up their pirate father, which is Django, which is 1-2 Django apparently.
1-2 Django,
right? Because they're waiting for him to declare that it's morning, even though he's like it's not early, it's not quite morning yet. But they're waiting for him to declare it so they can start their pillaging. Like they're that ramped to start.
Gotcha.
Attacking.
He's like, fine. Santa's here. Good morning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I like that. I thought that was hilarious.
It's also interesting that he gets another character box.
Yeah, I think he... maybe it's because he was split across the chapters, and I think he changed his outfit?
I think so, too. I think he leaves being the traveling hypnotist to become the...
Yeah. The acting captain of the Black Cat Pirates is what it says here. I think maybe it just was another way to... I don't know if there was maybe I don't think necessarily the fact that we're reading this in volumes meant that there was a larger break between the previous chapter and this one. Oh, and yeah, just to maybe to remind us of who this character was and what they're doing. It's like an easy way that Oda has already established to like give you what's his deal, you know. Oh yeah, he's the acting captain of the Black Cat Pirates. That's what you need to know. Keep reading, you know.
Yeah. Okay, my last joke is north equals where the wind is cold. That we talked about earlier.
Solid.
Right, when at that reveal, I just think it's such a fun panel to end the whole chapter on.
Yeah.
That's
so like, oh no.
Yes. Like so fun. Oh, not the it doesn't end it, but it's close to the end of it, right? No, that is the last panel. Yeah.
And maybe on this tour, we should take a trip north, you know, Eric. So like, lick my finger, put it out to the wind. Let's go. I know where we're headed.
We're always gonna be just walking into our ACs. Like that's always where we're gonna end up going. Whatever open vent that's open in our room, like we'll be open.
That's what we gotta go into. That's where the North Pole is. It's inside that tiny vent.
All right. Do you have any more ha-has, or can we throw some punches at each other?
Yeah. Cool. Uppercut.
I let you make all the noises for that one that time.
Yes, it is time for the panel battle.
Battle, no.
This is the section of the podcast where Eric and myself put forth our loveliest, our most engaging panel of the chapter, and we let them duke it out a little bit, and we'd love to have you, throw down, put the gauntlet in as well, whatever you want to do with a glove that involves us eventually fighting with cartoon panels. Do that, and send it in at grandlinetourist@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And without further ado, I think I forced you to go first last week, so it's probably only fair that
you go first.
You open
this
up
week.
mine first this time.
All right. Here we go.
It is the top right panel.
Oh, you and I like the same. We're close to the same moment, at least in the.
Are you on the same page?
I am not on the same page.
Okay, but we're close.
Okay. Yeah, this is a panel. It's just we have the giant onomatopoeia written out of crunch with a K. This is Claudor's striped shoe stepping down on the glass. The very thoughtful gift that Miss Kaya got for him crushing down. This is the big reveal. This is the turn. This is the moment where tinfoil Jacob realized that I don't know if he's still.
I'm pretty sure I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I don't think I should hold out any longer for Claudor switching sides. I have to admit, this was, if Claudor wasn't going to switch sides, this is a pretty awesome way to do it. I thought. I was like, oh, like he just looks so evil. Like, and the fact that, like, I know you said striped shoe. I actually think it's kind of like a slipper, like a moccasin that you'd wear inside the house, because he's still like in his I'm posing his butler form, and like, why didn't he want them? Does he actually like pushing up his glasses? It just seems like such an evil thing to do. He's like, no, I'm not accepting no gifts. I'm taking all the money. I couldn't believe it. I just thought it was such. They sold me on Claudor's evilness in a way that I didn't think they'd be able to do so fast. I was like, oh goodness, look at that. Claudor is just dang evil.
Yeah, it just. I love the version of the story that was in tinfoil Jacob's mind of the that he's into.
Still could happen. Very unlikely. Very, very unlikely.
Right, but now he's in the man. I've been so ready to do this for too long. He can't even wait. He's like the pirates back on his ship. Like, he can't even wait through the night. I'm starting this now. I'm gonna start pillaging people, starting with Barry the Ram Butler.
No, and okay, it's because it's close in time and sort of related. Is Barry dead?
No, you gotta stick around.
Oh my goodness, I feel like One Piece so far has not just flat out killed anybody so like bluntly, but it does look quite horrific. It's like Mary, this ram creature, partially like animalistic, being drawn across the floor after being slashed. You're like, oh my goodness.
It's weird you bring up that moment because.
Oh no. Panel. Oh, it's the one. It's the worst one. It's there's the broken glasses. Okay, I didn't even I'd seen this and I'd probably been so horrified I didn't look at all the close details. But this is the bottom panel of the page. Flump. We have Mary just slashed or somehow otherwise taken down to the floor. I guess he's not being. He may be being dragged. I don't actually know. I think he just might have just fallen on the floor, and those are the action lines leading to that happening. But it reminds me of someone being dragged across the floor in a horror movie. And there's are those the glasses of Mary?
No.
They're the glasses because Mary doesn't wear glasses, right?
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't think so. No. So those are the glasses that Claudor just crushed. So like we have this complete sign, every bit of Claudor's betrayal, just Bloody Mary. Oh, well, that's funny. Oh my goodness, that just came out. Bloody Mary, broken glasses. This is everything in a panel right here.
Isn't it? Like, this is what you want. Like, this is it's like. From Claudor's side, that's 3 years in the making in a panel, right?
Yeah.
For us as the audience, though, that's his, like you just said, his betrayal in one panel. Like, what did he just do? Like, it's so bad.
Is it the glasses box in there too? Is that the broken box? Oh, yeah. Wow. It's just...
Isn't it awesome? Oh. It's such a cool panel.
It is cool. I definitely like the way that one was stylized. It's so horrific. I don't know how he pulled it off. I'm just like,
all of this whole sequence is very horror movie.
Yeah,
all of it, from like the shading of his face, like the shading of his face and everything. I there's a point that I forgot to mention to you a few chapters ago because my niece was watching the anime the other day. Because all on Netflix, right? Like the first few seasons, especially the East Blue Saga, specifically that we're currently in. And I have to say, like, I don't know if this moment plays out the same because what I noticed from what she was watching, and she was watching like the buggy arc, is that it loses a lot of charm. There's a lot of things missing from like what you and I are noticing in the manga that's on the anime. And I think the One Piece anime is actually kind of notoriously known for that. where it doesn't quite translate the same, because you know how it's just another interpretation of art, no matter how much it tries to duplicate the manga. It's still, they need to add in all that extra stuff, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember when I was watching the anime. I don't remember this moment mattering as much to me, but when I read it, when I felt it in this like sequence, God, Mary's so dumb. Like, but like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just there's a like the sequence is so heartbreaking, and there's a really
Well, you gotta admit, as far as Mary's concerned, this is the moment of betrayal after 3 years. Like,
Yeah.
he may be being dumb, but like, I mean, poor Mary. He didn't expect this.
I think I'm calling him dumb because there's a panel in the pages before, on like page 7, of where it's Claudor, like it's a close up of Claudor, and he's pushing up his glasses. He says, "Yes, she is. Tomorrow will be tomorrow will be a special day indeed." And we have a really dumb faced Mary going, "Huh?" And all the way in the back.
No, it's true. It's true. Blame him for not being able to process 3 years of betrayal in one moment of glib dialogue from his butler overlord. So, but no, I get what you're
I just
saying.
love
For us,
the way Oda
it definitely
drew
looks
him.
dumb.
He just looks so derpy in the back there. And then he gets so violently assaulted. So
No, I think this is definitely, we both get to pat ourselves on the back for well-chosen panels involving
yeah.
the same moment in the story, basically, you know.
Yeah.
Crushed glasses, Mary's demise.
bloody Mary.
Mary.
Let's I mean we both chose it. Let's do the sound of I'm gonna do the sound of the glasses and the glasses box falling to the ground. You're gonna do the heartbreaking sound of the foot crushing it.
Ah, okay.
Here we go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. My eye.